Okay, you're off the mute.
Okay, good morning. Good
Morning. Yeah, good morning.
I feel like I just woke up.
There's coffee over there.
Yeah.
Some coffee here, papelito.
Yes, absolutely. Good evening, Public Safety Committee and residents, companies here visiting and those online. I'm calling this meeting to order at 7:04, our monthly PSC meeting. Calling roll. Carlos, I'm here. Good morning. Nancy. Johnny
Here.
Torres.
Here.
Darwin. Here. Giancarlo.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
And Mr. Pena.
Here.
This is how we do it in public safety, 100% participation. All right, order of business, deferrals, additions, deletions. I'll give you all a moment to go through and evaluate and see if anything needs to change. Okay, hearing none, we're gonna move on to the next item. I'm gonna go ahead and adoption of March 24th minutes. Do we have any comments related to those minutes? Any concerns? Please.
I'll second.
Okay, no one made the motion, so I guess you made the motion.
I said, he made the motion, I said,
Yeah, all right, so we have
accept
Jay-
the
and NR, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any against? None. Public comments, before we start public comments, I want to recognize someone that served on the committee for how long, Omar?
Ever.
Since this session, so Omar, welcome. Always good to see you and your family.
What you want?
Yes. So I guess I'll kick it off to anybody here on the left side of the room that wants to say any comments.
No. Yes, thank you for everything.
No, thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina Didi Gonzalez, and I'm here because I'm interested in joining this committee if there are any spots or positions available. And I'm also here because I'm also part of the Youth Activities Task Force, and we have an event coming up. It is called Bike Rodeo and Safety Day.
Sweet.
It is a little bit later on in the year, but we have a subcommittee meeting May 16th at 11:30 a.m. at Mary Collins Community Center, and I am asking the Public Safety Committee would be able to kind of co-host that event with us. I remember it used to be a public safety committee event. So I was just asking, bring it up to one of the committee meetings if you guys would be open to helping us for that event.
Kiki,
Yes,
question?
yes.
What specifically, if you have something specific that you would want our safety committee members to do, helping your
Mhm.
committee? Because you're in charge,
Yeah,
and what would you ask us to do?
so for the Bike Rodeo and Safety Day, just showing up and being there and then helping to promote, and if we could get like any sponsors, because at the moment, our budget is $0 for that event. So we would need a little bit of help with like sponsoring and some publicity, and I think having the Public Safety Committee being part of like the safety day for Bike Rodeo would be a good understanding. Yeah, that would be.
When is the actual event?
So the actual event, we have it for September 26th, but it can be changed.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it is later in the year, but we have our first subcommittee meeting, May 16th
Okay,
at 11:30 a.m. at Mary Collins.
all right. I think that we'll definitely get some folks interested here.
Yeah.
I know Nancy is a big supporter. She's there every year. And like we keep talking about in our quarterly chair meetings,
Yeah.
we have to definitely cooperate. We did something with NIC recently. And I look forward to working with you, and maybe we'll do some paper, rock, scissors and get someone kicked out of the committee so we can get you. But it's funny because, your name has come up several times. I mean, we would love to have you in the committee. Right now, the way it's set up is the fact that we have one member per council member. That's if the council doesn't go down to 5. If we go down to 5, then someone's gonna get kicked out.
Then we actually are gonna.
But yeah, so, but nonetheless, there's been, funny enough, it actually came up recently, at the last regular council meeting where someone said, we want to add one more person. The council did not entertain it at that point. But it's something that we definitely have to discuss, because I know some of the conversations we've had is like, okay, can you just say maybe the vice mayor and the mayor have one more person, so we can have 2 more people? But they're saying, no, that's not the way it works. But I think that a lot of times, I think people are quick to say, maybe no. So, well, we'll figure it out. But again, you and your family are rock stars. I mean, they were I don't know if you all know, but they were actually volunteer of the year last year. They do a lot for the town, including the Veterans Parade, which is a monster, and I love working with them. They're a great family, and not just them. You have, I think your brother is involved in it too, with your uncle, right?
Yeah.
Is involved in it as well, so. But yes, very excited, and yeah, May 16th, I mean, mark it on your calendar, guys, show up. You know, and see if we can, you know, see if we work something out for September.
Thank you.
Okay, Nancy.
I'm hoping that perhaps we can assist with any promotional stuff for that event.
Yeah.
And if she's asking us to co-join with the event or provide certain duties or whatever, then we have a way of promoting it.
Yeah, I mean, for sure,
Yeah.
promoting is easy, we'll for sure do that.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to do is,
We
I
need to
think
get
whoever's
dates and everything.
interested should show up on May 16th, Mary Collins, 11:30 a.m. and see how we can help. And some of the things we've been doing is we, you know, divide and conquer, you know, with responsibilities, spreading out sponsorships, but thank you for coming, Kiki. I wanna, yeah,
Just real quick, they're steadfast on it, one per member, per town council member. But we can't argue, we're starting to do a lot of events, we need additional help.
you know, that's become like a bad word, that we're doing a lot of events in the town council, believe it or not.
Don't mention.
Yeah, so I think that we have to be, I think the proper, well, technically it's public record, so I guess they can watch this video, but I think what's very important is the fact that we have 100% participation. We're doing a lot of things for the town. And that possibly, you know, more help would be welcomed, right? So I think that, and by all means, not that events are a bad thing. It's just that, for example, look at all we went through last year for Partial Heroes. We got grilled out for a year to have a successful event. So I think we just have to be very careful how we say that, but I think we should definitely start exploring it. You know, this is a rock star, you know, so to have her would be great.
Yeah, we get two, if we could get 2 for 1.
Hey, listen, you're speaking my language, right? But you know, we'll definitely get some more information on that. Maybe we can defer that to town management. Maybe we can get some answers before next PSC meeting. If we can, is there a way we can have more members? Well, I'm going to. All right, so go ahead, Ricardo.
Well, adding to George's thing, I know you were running a little bit for that quarter me, I don't know if you. But Councilman Sanchez did say that, and the brother could correct me. They want us to partner with other, you know, instead of doing that small events, join and make it a big event because the town budget is very, they're starting out.
No, yeah. No, we're definitely starting to do it.
Yeah,
NIC
and that's
was
the
an
problem
example.
now.
Frank Nature was an example.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Because that was brought up in the quarter meeting,
right.
in the beginning, really in the beginning.
Okay, no, let's, we'll look, May 16th, show up.
Exactly.
And we're saying, look, before we keep going, I want to take a special thank you to those watching at home. These red boxes are from Cow Bakery, right?
Bakery.
Yeah, Alex is here. So Alex, if you can, you know, thank you again for the treats. And now we'll definitely have some energy to talk about public safety. You want to say a few words for the committee and those are watching from home.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Florido. I'm one of the owners of Cow Bakery and Cafe. We're a new location here in my Hialeah Media District. And thank you for the opportunity to come here and presentation before you guys. So I brought cafe con leche, some goodies for you guys. And real quick, I'm gonna do a little presentation here for you guys.
Please, let's move on.
So the first box we're gonna pass around, this is our lunch box. This
Okay.
consists of medianoche, pastelito de quesito, abrejito meat, roquetica, and guayaba. Wow.
Look at that. Okay,
That's how that, and that's gonna be our lunch box.
check that out. That looks good.
That's like a prefixed box, right?
Louis is hungry, so pass it on to Louis.
No, I'm sorry.
So the following one is a breakfast box. It's a little mini croissant. It's your scrambled eggs, cheese.
Sweet.
Don't
then,
we
yeah,
do
you
a
got-
lot of those in the town, the smaller
This,
ones?
I believe this is edible.
So we got pastelito, guava,
Someone needs to eat this today.
roquetica,
Yeah.
croquette, ham, the cangrejito meat.
No,
And
no,
then,
it's not for you to eat, it's for you to pass it down.
Guys, and this is edible, guys. If whoever wants to eat it, go ahead and take it, because we have also, you know, a plate over there that we can kind of, you know, grab from.
I'll take some cafe for Emily. She'll be the judges. Really nice.
So this is what we call our party favor box. This is just strictly pastelitos. So we got our guayaba, quesito, croquettes, 2 of them, and then our meat So that's one of those kind of unique. So this is more like, you know, party fair picada.
And those are like a set price, I assume, right?
Yes, those are kind of tailored for you guys. We have a set price, the lunch boxes are $9.49.
No,
Our lunch box is same thing, and then our party favor is $4.49.
no.
Now, if you guys are familiar with Amelia District, it's right outside of the town of Miami Lakes, right where the really cool Granny underpass is. You go through it to the left, that's where they're at.
That's La Romania.
We're in the little shopping center where Romanita is, next to 7-Eleven, the yards, the food trucks.
Yeah.
We're in that little pocket there.
Carlos, I think it's a good idea to mention, you know, because for the veterans, not veterans,
Okay.
I think that we.
Yeah,
have
gotta
for
let
the
them know more.
police- For the police, maybe, you know, we can ask the prices, you know.
No, for sure. No, I would love to work with them and look, they're, as you can see, guys, you know, a testament to the company, to how they are, you know, we just had, in fact, last week, Alex Crespi, which is the Miramar franchise, donated to the entire, honorees that were getting the junior honor society.
And it was ahead.
Yeah, it was a huge hit. So they're very well known for their product and giving back to the community.
So here we have two flyers, the catering menu, and then a regular store menu for the food, and then here's a free cafecito, coupon, so. Free cafe on us.
I like it. No,
And I
thanks.
also put my card with you guys, so if you have any questions or anything, feel free to.
Yeah, and make sure, like, guys, not just for public safety, but maybe, you know, your office, maybe it wants to put in, you know. You can go ahead and order from
For
them.
Saturday when I don't feel like cooking them.
We have ice cream, churrasco, you know, we're not only bateria.
That's impressive.
We got
Really
food.
good.
Yeah, appreciate you, Okay, and Omar, would you like to say anything?
Yes, sir, of course. Good afternoon, everyone. Omar Sepulveda, I'm with the Elderly Affairs Committee. I am the chair for the Senior Olympics. We are, yes, we're renovating the 2014, I believe that's the last one that happened in Miami Lakes. I'm in charge of that one this year. We're looking to do it somewhere between end of October, November, it maybe even the end of September. Pretty much the idea is that it's a senior Olympics. We're gonna have several different sports. We're gonna have the medals, we're gonna have the trophies, we're gonna have the event at the Veterans Park. But I'm here because I feel that a lot of the committees do things and they get separated. We really know what you guys are doing. You don't know what I'm doing. And instead of going out and getting volunteers from schools and so forth, I came up with the plan to maybe have committee members from other committees participate as well.
Okay.
Again, public safety would help us really with the whole logistic part of the event.
Mhm.
It's my first event, so definitely anything that any help that I can get, I will, be very grateful of.
Mhm.
But I would really like for along the way, we participate, we do things together. And you guys come either similar to what she's doing,
Right.
have your participation.
Do you guys have like a main date that you guys are shooting for, and then if that doesn't work?
We're waiting on approval. We're waiting on approval from the town. I requested because of weather conditions and seniors, I requested the first week of November.
Okay.
It's tough because November, December, we have a lot of events.
Yeah.
So regardless of, we want to do it on a Saturday at the park, have the sheds, have, the water. Perhaps Cap can provide the breakfast. We already have the logistic part of, like the schematics of it. I'm here mostly because I would like to figure out a way how you can help me.
Yeah.
Our committee.
Yeah, we've done, I know as far as public safety, as long as I've been here, maybe when Nancy before me has other, collaborations that we've had, but like the one that we had with you all, was related to, identity theft, right? So we had,
Right, I
we
remember.
had, the folks come in, Joe, from Citizens Crime Watch and discuss, for 15 minutes. It was quick, but
But good.
yeah, it was good, quick, it's probably be longer, but definitely for the Senior Olympics, something like public safety, I mean, we can probably, like you said, volunteer, we can help. We help out a lot of events, 4th of July, Nightmare on Rose, Lewis is very involved with the Youth Activities Task Force. I'm very involved with your other committee, with Cultural Affairs, helping them out with the Main Street, live. So, yeah, just as it comes up, keep us in the loop,
Of course.
and then we can help you market it, and then, labor wise, we can help out, with that, and, I'm sure your events are a big hit. I'm sure you're gonna kill it
Thank you.
with your first event,
Thank you,
so
thank you,
I don't
thank you.
know.
So that was pretty much it and wanted to be here for it.
And I'll send you some of the vendors, and I'll
buddy-
send you some of the vendors that we use for like
Yes.
trophies and stuff like that, so you can.
That's it, that's
Yeah.
important, yeah.
Yeah, so you can have an idea
So-
for the pricing.
Enjoy the pastelitos, enjoy the.
We will.
And I definitely look forward to working with you, some of you, all of you.
No, definitely. No, we're one big family.
Thank you for your time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for what you do for the elderly and cultural affairs.
Thank
Okay, so, okay, so now we're done here with special presentations. I'm gonna turn it over to Darwin. Any update from, Miami-Dade Fire?
So Chief Boland luckily he stayed bid in, and so that's a pretty good kind of context. Lieutenant, Jones is still there, Angie, and, Captain Hall. So again, I think at some point we should revisit the what?
The mural.
The mural, yeah, the mural. I think I shared some stuff with you guys.
Yeah.
And then, on an informal note, so something like that. I mean, I've been, now that I'm back in the field, I've been going around some of these stations. And some of them are quite creative, if you will. I do have the contacts
Right,
for the artists. I know we have one specific that I believe we were interested in
Yeah,
working
and-
with.
right.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when we want to tackle that project again.
Yeah, I mean, really right now it's, and we'll talk about now about, money, because there's been a lot of outflow this fiscal year. But, we'll see if, we can maybe get a price to see, what it is and plan accordingly for maybe next fiscal year, or if there's something left this year, depending on the price, really. If it's not that much, then possibly we could do it. The other option is, if there's somebody that's a young and an aspiring artist,
Right.
maybe they want,
Volunteer.
somebody that wants to do it, out of the kindness of their heart, to promote their product,
The good thing is that even the union, so if that were to be the case, I think the union, we could use them as a platform, if you will, sort of to, put this person's name out there, through our local 1403.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah,
Again, I think it's a lot easier to do it inside the station. Outside is a whole different
absolutely.
process, if you will, because it's a county-owned building.
Yeah.
So inside the station, and then luckily Chief Borland agreed. He says, "Hey, listen, we're gonna leave this," and I think you guys, that
Yes,
space, when you guys are ready, no, that's for you guys.
Yeah.
So, specific to 64, I think.
Listen, I have an idea. Just put it out there and maybe, I know that when we spoke to, which one is the one that we worked with from, Ed?
Captain Williams, Alicia.
Captain Williams has, for Fire Prevention Week, they have
And a poster, like a contest.
and a contest.
Mhm.
We put it out there. Whoever wins the contest can compete at the fire station.
Okay.
And make sure you specify volunteers, that there's no payment,
Right.
and then all the young kids will want to get involved.
Well, I mean, think about it. You have an aspiring artist from Barbara Bowman or Miami Lakes Tech. I mean, Kiki's a lot younger than we are. I mean, I'm sure you got some people that love that, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, now everything's like AI.
it is. We got the AI team in the house. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah, that's a good idea. For fire prevention week. Maybe, I mean, look, that'd be cool. I mean, I would like my name in a firehouse.
Yeah,
Every time I come in.
the winner gets the mural.
Yeah, I like it. Throw a little party.
well,
I mean,
our logo will go on
like
there.
you said.
somewhere in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tell them the parameters.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Which station was that? I'm sorry.
This is station 64.
I thought.
Yeah. So as many of you all know, or maybe you don't know, but you know, Darwin is now out in the field, you know, when it comes to the different, you know, stations. So he's very valuable because he's going out and seeing what's going on. Now he's bringing even more information to us on how we can continue, you know, doing things here in Miami.
It's funny how some of these stations, I went to station 32, which is North Miami, and they're close to, and I believe I put the picture in our group chat. They're close to I-95, so everything is, for lack of a better word, like highway themed. And some of these guys like get real creative. Now that I'm going around, mind you, that had been almost a little bit over almost 6 years since I had been out in the field. Yes, I worked overtime every now and then, but now that I'm there like 24 hours, you start seeing these other, I work right now at 6 different stations. Not necessarily geographically, like one day I'm in West Miami. That one's another phenomenal stations. The stuff that some of these guys that they'll make an American flag out of 3-inch holes. That's how creative some of these guys get with some of these stations, and it's all about, typically it's the station captain and it's ownership, that's your station. That's the station that you're basically, you supervise, so again, you are the official representative for that station.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, some of these, I've been impressed, like, wow, just how they go all out.
Yeah. Not really.
Mhm.
Definitely lucky to have that
yeah.
information. That's
Real
really
quick, like Station 3. Station 3 is the one in that, like the Tropical Park area, and that's the only station that the trucks are red. Why? Because that's basically in memory of 9/11. So you go inside that station, pretty much it's all, I guess the way they have the number 3, it's sort of like a racing, like a race car, like a number 3, and everything is again set up that way.
That's
So station 10 is Sunny Owls, Miami themed, Miami Vice themed, if you will, like the colors, because it's at the beach, and I'm telling you, some of these guys go all out.
Do you ever go to the one or connected with the one in North Miami Beach that's connected to the police department?
Station 31.
Do
That's
you
not
know-
my, that's,
do you
I've
know
been there, but that's not part of
Bob
my bid.
Scott, they call him Scotty, he's, I believe, a lieutenant. He might have retired, I don't know, he was engaged with my sister.
Right. So,
And,
but yeah,
and I haven't been there in a while, I don't know who's,
Yeah.
Everybody moves and changes.
Yeah, we'll take you away. Darwin will take you away. Right. So Detective Nieves, thank you for joining us. Always good to see you. Detective Nieves is sitting in today for Amador. And we're very lucky to have her. So tell me what's good. So good to see you.
Likewise, it's been better. I like sitting in, that's good. Taking over, sitting in is perfect.
Just so you know, before Amador starts, he always has a joke.
Oh.
All right, we'll skip it this time.
Like Tara, go on.
Did you want the?
Yeah, he
Take
kind of
out
just,
the current update or-
yeah, he kind of just goes by them, to see where we're at,
Right, yeah. We're the same or down on all crimes.
Okay.
Except for the residential burglaries, we're up by 3 because last year at this time we had 0.
Really?
But since the last report he would have given, there have not been any residential burglaries, so that will be the same number that he would have reported last time. And then just a note, because that did strike me as
Yeah.
odd, so I actually looked them up. And I handled,
Yeah.
wait, that one of those was mine. One of those was actually one incident, but it involved 2 locations. So, and it was the individual had like a mental illness, so it was a little bit of a different situation there. But again, so it's kind of like 2 incidents, but one of them involved 2 locations, so that's why it's the number is.
So it's one individual, 2 locations.
One individual, 2 locations, correct. And then the other one was just like a regular, what do we call it, or like a regular residential burglary. But again, yeah, everything else we're at 0 and or down in numbers.
Now, the cool thing about having you here is that you have a different role than Amador. So what have you been seeing that possibly, could assist us in what we're doing for future PSAs or possibly things we needed to warn our neighbors about, family, that you recommend you see?
I'm so glad you asked, because I actually wrote it down here just a moment ago, because I wanted to be sure to remember to mention this. Guns in cars. I'll have to say that I think our residents are doing a much better job of locking, we're locking our vehicles, we're doing a good job of locking our vehicles, but we don't always do it, and I've been, I have forgotten myself as well to lock my vehicle, but I sure don't ever leave my gun in my vehicle. I don't leave my personal weapons in my personal vehicles, and of course, I don't leave them in my work vehicle because we're not supposed to, and we don't do that. But if there's some way to really encourage our residents, not to leave their guns in their cars, we're way down on vehicle burglaries for lots of reasons, but unfortunately, every time we have a gun taken,
Yeah. Serious issue.
it's very serious, and it's just by leaving your vehicle unlocked and your gun in your car, you're practically just putting a gun in the hands of someone who's committing crimes. So,
Yeah, I mean, it might not be a bad idea to maybe run a refresher on social media from out there.
absolutely. And stressing, lock it or lose it, and even if you lock it, don't leave your gun.
Yeah,
That's a big thing. Unless you have any questions about that, I wanted to also, if this is the right time to mention the camera registration.
please.
Yes, okay. The county is looking to the residents for help with keeping Miami-Dade safe. And of course, keeping the town of Miami-Lake safe. You can, I don't know that I brought enough. But I can let you, it's two parts, it's two things. There's a camera registry and a camera integration program. The camera registry is where residents just let us know, they fill out a little form online and they let us know that they are able and willing to help us out if we need their help, because they have cameras in their home and they would let us contact them if we need their help, and asking them to either review their cameras or if we can stop by to take a peek at their cameras. We normally do an area canvas whenever there's a crime that occurs. I go around and I knock on doors, hey, I see you have a camera, oh, it doesn't work, it works, whatever, or many times they have footage that is very helpful to us in our investigations. But this would be a super efficient way to reach out directly to individuals who have cameras that work and who are willing to let us contact them in the event that we need their help. So it's basically just filling out an online form, letting us know that they're willing and able to be contacted by us in the event that we may need their help with camera footage. That's a camera registry, which would be for any individual. Camera integration is for businesses, and it's where we would actually be granted access to their cameras in the event of a high priority emergency that occurs. That's really just for businesses. And the businesses that have connected, they can choose to allow us access to only one camera, 10, all cameras. Many times it's exterior cameras. So maybe the cameras in the parking lot. One example would be if we had a shooting incident that I handled a couple of years ago. If we were to have access to the cameras in the parking lot of that location, our real-time operations center can tap into those cameras and help us to locate a subject or to direct us more efficiently, immediately, in real time to where we need to go to be able to keep people safe.
In my case, where I live, in the mailbox situation and everything, there's 98 homes. To go door to door is time consuming, who's home, who's not. Do I have to go back? Do we have any, have any, like little postcards or something or other that we can stick in a doorway and not have to revisit that home? If you have questions, contact me and I'll put my phone number down and take calls. Because the more involved and interested in what I'm trying to say. I know certain information that maybe somebody else wouldn't understand. So I would be more than happy to help with this in any way I can. Like I said, we're 98 homes just in Los Andrews.
Mhm.
And then there's all the other ones around, so anything I can do to
Well,
help
at
them
this-
offering mine and,
At this point, I just wanted to be sure that you all were aware of the program, that you understand it. And in whatever way you can to share the information with the public service announcements or any events that you have. We only would approach, perhaps if you would speak to neighbors that you visibly see that they have camera, you know, that they do have a camera. We have these, some that can be left on the door and other small cards. I'm not passing these out right now. I don't have extra right now, and I'm not passing them out right now because I want to confirm that this QR code is indeed the best one at this time. Because when I spoke directly to the provider, they were gonna look for a QR code that was more direct and more specific. So to answer your question, yes, and as soon as I have something that would be more helpful with getting the word out, I will definitely provide them to you all.
And those QR codes, once they provide the work, we can post it in the website, in the Instagram of Miami-Dade.
The question that I have is, and unfortunately, I don't know why, maybe I missed it, where there's friends that reach out about a trending crime. And I don't see it on your PIO putting it out there. So if your PIO and headquarters is doing something for this, then we can make a motion, the town of Miami Lakes repost that. So do you have any idea how about this? Let's make your job easy. We're gonna take, I'll sponsor this motion. That if there is a PSA online, that the town repost it. So that's my motion. Do I have a second?
Yes, for the camera issue.
I'll second. All right, so we have CA and we have JT. All right, and this motion is if there's a PSA related to the help keep Miami-Dade safe. Is that the campaign?
Miami Lake,
Is that in the end?
Miami-Dade.
Miami-Dade or Miami Lake?
Sorry, Miami-Dade.
Miami-Dade.
I believe the action item is gonna be Connect Miami-Dade.
Okay, so,
Connect Miami-Dade,
okay, so let's call it Connect
Miami-Dade.
Miami-Dade. That the town of Miami Lakes reposted. Okay? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any against? None. Okay, so at that point, when you get that Detective Nieves and you give them some confirmation and you say, yes, we got it, then at that point, now they have, the direction of reposting it. That's the easiest way to do it. And then at that point, if you have that information, then we can push it out to our Instagrams, all of us, and then kind of build up on that. And then the postcard, you have the elderly affairs, public safety representative sitting in the room that can pass out those door hangers to the elderly affairs committee.
So just to ensure, to make sure, so the registry of the camera is to pretty much give you guys knowledge, I have a camera, if you need it, go ahead, but you still need to ask the resident for permission.
Absolutely, it
And
it would
then-
be a case by
No,
case.
because I know, because when you tell them.
Oh, yeah.
To the
Conspiracy
neighbor,
starts.
oh, we're gonna go in.
No, it's.
Yeah, the conspiracy starts.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
the one
So
for
that's
the,
clear, that has to be made clear.
yeah, and then one for the business, you guys
I don't
can
think they want my.
go games.
And again, just to be clear, it would be the real-time operations center, it's not just a one deputy, it's our real-time operations center who would log in, and they would only log in if there is a,
Register
Very-
camera in there.
no, if there's a very high priority emergency, that's the only reason that they would log in. If they don't monitor, it's just if police there's a shooting or any type of a high priority incident,
Okay.
that's the only time that they tap into those cameras, and just to be able to provide us with immediate real-time information.
I'm gonna take a second motion now to have town of Miami Lakes repost our Lock It or Lose It, PSA. Do I have that?
I second it.
Okay, so who wants to second it?
Giancarlo did. All right, so Giancarlo seconded. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any against? None. Okay, so we have lock it or lose it to repost. And we have that, so that's an easy one. Okay. You're making Amber really mad.
I had no jokes.
There you go.
Just for the fun of it, let's vote on something that's to do. They
Okay,
won't like.
so you're good? Wonderful, thank you again. All right, we're going down the agenda. We're now on 7A, the PSC logo. We've approved that logo already. So now, you know, it's just a matter of us using it on our, you know, advertising as we go through. 7B, partnership with Neighborhood Improvement Committee, Back to Nature. I just wanted to gather everybody's, you know, feedback on the event. I want to hear you all, what you felt about it. I'm just gonna say, you know, actually, you know what? I'm gonna open the floor so we can talk about the recap and how you guys felt about it.
A little disappointed on the outcome.
I agree.
I mean, as far as the client and the residents
Yeah.
partaking in.
Well, how I see it is the town didn't promote it enough. It's something that's gonna benefit the town, it's something that we're putting together for the town, so. I get it, we try to promote it, you promote it galore every time
They
that you
didn't
tag
make any
us,
money out.
I go ahead and promote it, but. If you go that week into the town of Miami-Dade Instagram, they promoted everything that was happening that week except for our stuff. So
They did.
they did, but not every day or not every other day like they did all that stuff. In my opinion, it was the first time that we did it, so. If we try next year again, it might have a better turnout, but we can promote it more ahead of time if we already know we're gonna do it around this time for April. We can promote it more. It's up to you guys,
Was
but
there a conflict with something else going on? I didn't pay attention.
Sandbag giveaway. Was the sandbag giveaway even, did it have any traction at Isabel?
I don't think so. From what I
Yeah, it was.
heard.
yeah,
That
I
was-
passed by and it was
And I will
it's
tell
just
you,
a hit and miss, but
yeah,
to be honest, but being the first time and not being promoted as much, it was a decent.
the events are being promoted the same way. And we are being promoted the same way as everyone else. I will say that to the defense of the town. However, I do think that something needs to change. I think that, and that's why I tried to change it this time by having,
And I'm not saying it's our stuff, I'm saying
in general,
in general, because
Yeah.
like, for example, sometime I go to Main Street and I was like, holy crap, what's going on now? I didn't know what was going on. And we have an Instagram for the town, we push all that stuff there, people can be like, oh.
right. I'm gonna give you an example. I actually went to Shred Force and did a video. And you reposted it.
Mhm.
And those of you online saw what I was doing, and I asked Idalis, please repost my video, because it was literally talking about the event. So I think at the discretion of communications, if we do things like that, that are actually outside of just, you know, an image and a video, it maybe if the town could assist and repost it, you know, just because, perfect example, I went the Saturday before to Farmers Market and I was talking about, hey, it's gonna be here, so you guys know. Because sometimes, guess what happens? Are you guys looking at this? We become so lazy, we don't even read it. So you're gonna get more reaction out of a video than a picture. So I think that the marketing needs to change. And I think that possibly, you know, we can work with Isabella, well, that's not really Isabella's role, but you know, there's other people in the department that can possibly help. And maybe we can make it a little more interactive. I think that's what you're going for.
No,
We're on the
but
same page.
I'm not saying that it's only against us, I'm saying in general.
No, yeah, I agree.
Every event that's going into the town, it can be promoted a little bit more,
I agree.
a little bit more out there.
I agree. It's a lot of things. I think that it becomes a flood. There's a lot of events going on. I think that it sometimes it dilutes it, right? You know, because, but hey, listen, we can work with them. We have a lot of smart people in this room. We can figure out how to do better for the future. And I know that we're not the only committee feeling this way.
You know, that door swings both ways. Because if there's something going on, 2 or 3 things in one weekend. Nothing big going on the coming weekend. That's when people say, let's go, it's our turn to go out of town and go to the cabana we've got in the Easter bid. So
Right.
we're gonna lose people on a weekend that follows a really big weekend.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to plan around that issue, because we don't really know what everybody else is doing. So maybe at committee chair meetings, it can be strongly discussed, be kind.
Yeah. Well, we-
And we can bring that up more at a committee chair meeting and say, hey, we all gotta work together here and promoting each other's events and not stepping on each other's toes.
The good news is, I will tell you, those of you that were there, and thank you for showing up. You know, I know some of you were working and he was recovering, you know, from surgery. People were happy. The people that showed up were very happy it was going on, which was kind of like, really? So there's people that want this. They like it. It's just a matter of getting it out to them.
Remember,
And it's a
it's a hit and
different,
miss for all the events.
right,
Not everyone's gonna be as partial, it's gonna be a big turn.
exactly.
So, but that doesn't mean that we should not buy for next year.
Well, you know, it's
Next year is the same turnout, then you'll be like, okay, so that's it, but.
it's
if we
interesting.
promote
I
a
was
little bit
talking,
more,
yeah, and to that point, it's funny. I was talking to the manager about it.
and look,
And
no offense, but we cannot an extra layer. I know there's some nurseries and stuff that donate like trees that you can have because the whole thing is back to nature or whatever.
Right.
You can have a few one there if somebody wanna put in the paperwork and stuff. Look, you know, so you can plant this at your house or whatever the case may be. Put different stuff to it.
perfect example is they had Arbor Day on Friday. Arbor Day doesn't have to be a separate event with Back to Nature.
There you
If
go.
we want to do it again.
There you go.
All right, so any more comments from that event? None, okay. The one thing is, we do have an invoice that's already been approved the last committee meeting, so we don't have to take a vote on that when it comes to E-Scrap.
Right, did you want that one mailed, or are you picking that up, or are they picking it up?
I can ask them.
Okay, if
Yeah.
there's a preference,
Perfect.
it's in finance right now, it's processing,
Right.
so.
So with Strikeforce, to kind of tell you guys what's going on, they're kind of discussing it internally. I don't know if you all know this, but that service usually costs $1,200 for Strikeforce. And they told us 200, and then they were telling us then 600 internally. And I'm like, look, I was told 200, so there's been some back and forth on that. It's gonna work its way out, but this is just showing you all how expensive it is to do an event, right? And these events, how important it is that they're successful. Now, to the point I was making earlier, the manager Peter brought up a good point. He's like, hey, Carlos, you gotta remember, some of these events, they take 2 times to be successful. You know, so to Johnny's point, Johnny's right, you know. Next year, maybe we phrase it differently, or maybe we don't do it.
Promote it more,
Yeah,
from more anticipation.
right. You know, so we'll figure out how that is. However, something to give the idea of FOMO. Do we all know what FOMO is? Fear of missing out, right? I just figured that out like a year ago. I know, Katie, I'm showing my age. So what I'm thinking, what I recommend is, and we can take a motion on it. There's a video that Gani did as a gift to us, our videographer, to recap the event.
I make a motion that we suggest this video.
Okay, perfect. Do we need to show it?
I can work on pulling it up on the TV.
Yeah,
Give
so-
me a second.
Yeah, so we can show it on the screen really quick.
Who's gonna second?
I'll
Need a
second.
second.
Who took the motion?
I did the motion
And then,
to
and then
discuss
Darwin.
it.
And then Darwin is voting on it. Okay, so we're gonna watch the video really quick. And then, the next item is a little long. So we'll, you know, make sure that we can watch this video. So the whole idea, guys, what I've learned about marketing is, and it's funny, not a lot of other committees are doing it, but we are. Well, we did it for Car Street Heroes. We actually didn't do it for the fire station. We had an issue with the video. We need to continue doing a recap. Because the recap oh my God, perfect example. You're gonna see this video now, you're gonna think 100 people went. Don't lie. I learned it from my good friend Tico Casamayor and how to video the events, you know, and making sure that you have good footage of also pictures. And I think it can work out pretty well. Maybe there's some, I know Pat Riley didn't want to use the word retool, but maybe there's a retooling that needs to do with his exit conference. You know, but you know, possibly we can do something else. I guess
We need to
something.
turn out lights.
No, I think we're fine. If it's too hard, I can put it on my phone, that's okay. Yeah.
You're gonna put it on the screen.
Does it have sound or no?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's a little bit large. That's why she was having a hard time getting it. And I should prepare you. Sorry about that, Isabella. Yeah, it's something logos, he labeled it logos, I don't know why. Jason.
So replay that next year. Campaign.
What do you guys think?
Nice.
Very successful there, right? Would have guessed it. Letting out on dirty secrets.
It is what it is.
All right, so you guys like it? Want to
Yes.
post it?
Yes, post it.
All right, post it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? None. Okay, hopefully clear something to agree with.
Yeah, I ran it by her. She was fine with
Okay,
it. So I'll send it to you.
wonderful. All right, guys, the fun is here. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. All right, guys, here it is. And Omar's here to see it too. Boom. What do you think? Most important one is the cow, right? Forget the people.
No, the duck.
The duck. Today there was a mama duck. Today there was a mama duck with like 12 little duckies
Yeah.
crossing Miami-Dade County.
Every time, Emily go like.
That's what I had to stop with my flashers because people were
Hey,
gonna.
you can pass it off, Keith. All right, guys, so here's what I did, and I really need your help, all right? I print this and thank you, Isabella, for my, is this a weird request for 11 by
You're
7?
the only one who's requested with me, but it
Yeah,
got it done.
I had this obsession with 11 by 17 paper, I think it's.
Why are you making her job hard?
How hard a check to go to find the paper?
No.
Probably went to the printer room and said, who's asking for this?
No wonder there was a light on late night in this building.
One more she had a ugly face the next day.
All right, guys, here's where I'm at, and I'm so glad that we have we have three folks in law enforcement in the room that can kind of guide us in this layout.
Second.
So this over here is the map of our beautiful town of Miami Lakes. The red dots, hopefully you're not colorblind, are those related to where I feel we should put these yard signs. All right, now, what Chat GPT told me was that you shouldn't put these signs on a main road. Because they confuse, you should not, because it confuses people, blah, 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 blah.
So that's what I was gonna ask, the one in 87, that's in 87 or that's inside the.
You know, it's funny that you say that.
Because that one there is where the cows are.
I thought I needed to be funny, because the
Okay.
cows are there.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe you don't like that joke, and you want to put it there?
There's,
Oh,
now there's, oh,
And have brown spots on the sign.
So maybe you disagree.
You never know when a cow's gonna escape.
Footprint of a cow.
Right, so the whole idea, guys, is, and I know Nancy, this is your moment here to go down memory lane. When you did your. Well.
I'll try and remember.
Nice.
And maybe Omar too, you know, can really have some memory. When you guys did the last sign, Drive Like Your Kids Live Here, which I thought was cute, but a little too long to read. I think this one, as a message, very clear, right? By the way, that was a very successful campaign by all means.
I still see one.
I still have about 6 of them in a box.
PSN.
And PSN, look at
If
that.
you need any, I have about 6 of them in a box.
Right, and that was a great campaign, but you see, what ended up happening is, and I'm gonna tell you why my comment's coming from Omar. It's because I have one in front of my house and people still speed,
Mm,
all right? Because I think they're not slowing down to read it. I have one in front of my house and people still speed.
They're still speeding.
Oh, they already.
You
have
have speed
said.
Yeah.
don't you have speed bump?
They're gonna be repaved.
How about?
Yeah, with the new street or newer street over the years, they're just.
People just ignore signs
Right.
on the streets where they work, if I may interrupt, and I already have. For instance, in Lock Andrews, they're handy because people are driving slower. They're not gonna be good on, like Fairway Drive, where people are gonna speed anyway, and in spite of that speed bump that's there.
Right.
They're not good there, and the trees are so low, you don't see any signs.
Right.
So it depends on the location.
But remember,
Where
these signs cannot go on trees. The signs cannot go on trees.
Besides, I know,
Okay,
that's why all the more reason.
okay, because I know you said that the trees, Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I guess
No, that,
when you did your campaign, you did them at all the pocket parks,
Pocket parks.
right?
Mhm.
Now here's what I'm thinking. If you notice, I didn't do them at all pocket parks. And by all means, you guys can tell me, Carlos, you're wrong. And I have no problem you telling me I'm wrong.
they just need to go up. I don't care where they go.
Because here's the thing, if you look at the greater majority of our pocket parks is on the east side of Miami Lakes. So if you put them at every pocket park, you're gonna literally put 100 signs on the east side of Miami Lakes. And really, there's a lot of speeding going on the west side. All right, and people here from the west side will be able to tell me what is going on. I know the greater majority of us are east side on this committee, I want to say. You know, but right now, if you all want to talk about it, I can kind of give you, if you want to, we'll handle this by sections. Okay, if you want to go, we'll go top right. And please, if any of us, if you interject me, if you feel that maybe we need to consider something that you've seen in your experience, but.
If I can interrupt you now, okay, what I found with the signs was that. The only place where they could be seen is if you nail them to a tree, and we're not supposed to be nailing them to a tree.
Right.
So when you take a very busy street where somebody's going by quickly, if you're not putting it on a tree, it's not being seen. Then you put it on the stand and you put it in the grass. Now the guy cutting the grass for the town is taking them out and they're disappearing. So the biggest problem with these signs is where to put them where they're not causing problems. If anybody comes up with that solution, the God.
Well, I think what we need to do is when it comes to landscape people, we need to make a motion or to have Jeremy in the Parks and Rec department
Get the word.
communicate with the vendors. They cannot do away with those signs. They need to go back where they are.
We need the help.
All right,
However we get it, we need the help.
all right, so we can do that.
Okay, I don't put in any more. things.
Okay, so now top right, if you notice, you have Optimus Park. There's a pretty long strip there. And I felt that, right when, you get into that little baseball field there, I think that one should go there. And then if you notice, directly south of that, you have two schools. You have Our Lady of Lakes and you have Miami Lakes Middle. So I don't know, when it comes to putting yard signs, can we put yard signs in school property, or we're gonna run into an issue?
The outside of the sidewalk.
Okay, so a swing.
Yeah.
Okay,
But then now you're
And
gonna
then
have
you
the
just
problem
wail
with the kids
again.
messing with it and, during dismissal or when they're waiting to get into the school, it might not stay there too long.
right.
Because they'll use it to play, whatever.
Right, unless you think that we should move it somewhere like closer to the baseball fields. I just thought that because there's schools there,
By in front of Montessori, nobody should mess with it because those are little kids,
all right,
very little kids. And, they go inside the gate, the parents walk them into the school. I think it'll have a longer period of, life.
You don't think the middle school kids will?
Well, yeah, well, walking to and from, I mean,
También,
yeah.
the middle school kids.
Maybe run this by the Public Works Department, because they also pick up signs if they don't know about them. Like,
Okay.
for instance, they had to pick up a farmer's market sign because it was in a right of way, so that's not allowed. So maybe
Okay.
run this by them too.
yes, all right. All right, so we have both Parks and Rec that we have to, Parks and procurement that we gotta run. So,
Public
sorry,
Works.
Public Works. So we have Parks and Public Works. Okay, so now. Right now, it's almost 8 o'clock. So if I go by every single section. I'm just gonna go ahead and not go individually to each sign. I'm just gonna say section 1. Any comments? Section 1 is top right. How about this? I'm not gonna call it section 1. I'm just gonna say top right. If you're looking at this, do you recommend a sign should go anywhere else? Or you disagree with where a sign is right now?
But not in that area.
Okay. I'm hearing no comments. We're now looking at bottom right. This is Darwin's neighborhood. That long strip, people are speeding down your street.
That Lake Patricia, yeah.
There's one in that intersection where down by the bottom there.
I see that.
And if you notice, the one that's on Miami Lakeway South is the one that's next to that electrical area they did all the construction on. Because I don't think somebody messed with it there.
You don't think you need one, I'm sorry, at Lake Candlewood? you've got two here.
Oh, yeah, you're
You
right,
see
you're
what I'm
right.
saying? You've got three in that area. I would move one of those three, the middle one maybe, right above the word lake,
Yeah,
perhaps,
Yeah.
and put it on Lake Candlewood,
No, but here's the thing, we have 150 sites.
whatever you wanna do.
So if you wanna put one on Lake Candlewood, we can just put one there.
I have one, I have one.
All right, so let's put one on Lake Candlewood. Now, here, guys, the problem with this is, and where my eyes will cross with this thing, is because I gotta have two maps open. I gotta have this one open, that gives me the street names, and then I had a satellite one. Because the issue is that if you go to Lake Candlewood, Darwin will be the one to tell me, because that's his block. Where is there a park? Because we should put it at a park. We can't put it in someone's house. Is there a park on Lake Candlewood? I think it's all the way towards Miami Lakeway is the problem. Or is there a park in between Lake Patricia?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so then would you say it's further south to the bottom of the page?
Further south.
I would, you see the red dot near the word center?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is the one above lake. Move him just around the corner above the letter A in lake.
Well, he had
And the
enough
one
signs.
in P over by Lake Candlewood.
We
And
have-
you've got your three.
He has enough signs.
We're gonna add
You made
another
it
one.
sound like, you made it sound like you didn't want to add another one, okay,
Because here's what I'm thinking, guys.
okay.
We can handle this several ways. We can say, which will be easier. I have no problem volunteering, but it will make it easier. I bought one box, okay? There's one box right here. I think if Darwin's gonna handle his neighborhood, Darwin's gonna get 4 of them. All right, and then you put them there in your neighborhood, wherever you find them. Or if you like, hey, I don't have the space now, we can always just get together on the weekend and I have the truck and I'll bring it over. Whatever works. So what I hear from the commentary here is there should be one more Lake Candlewood. Right? That's what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right, now the other ones, just to give everybody here like a heads up, the rest of them are parks. Lake Patricia, the bottom of the lake, that's a park. The other road there is a park. And then you have Miami Lakeway South, which is a hot spot for speeding. One is in front of Elevate Church, which, I thought there was 3 services, but there's always someone speeding in the morning going over there. And trying to keep telling the cops about him. And that's that. Then if you look at a little bit higher, there's a little red dot, that's in front of Publix. There's a park there. In front of Publix, that's where the other sign is. Is there any more commentary with the bottom right? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna keep going. Now we're going to the bottom left, which is a hot zone. Bottom left, we're still on the east side of Miami Lakes, bottom left. Okay, the one that's in a circle, that's in front of Mr. Peña's area. That's Miami Lakes K through 8. I'm thinking you put it either in front of Miami Lakes K through 8 or
can I have a street name?
The park.
what's this Miami Lakes K through 8 Center.
Miami Lake.
Miami Lakes K3, where is it?
Yeah, right there. Now that's actually not the park. That's the growing place is right in front of it. So
Oh, yeah.
we can put it as a growing place, or we can put it
I'll
at
just copy.
Miami Lakes K through 8.
In between.
In between, fine. Then to the left of that, to the west of that, that's the park you're talking about, where they had the arbor thing this last weekend. That's the park right there. Then when you go slightly north, you have Mahogany and Palmetto. Those are parks. Another hot spot, Dade Pine Avenue in front of my house. There is a hot spot too. Then the other ones that you see, Leaning Pine, you have Bamboo Street, you have Sable Drive. Those are all parks. Twin Sable Drive, that's also a park. I can't believe you actually speed on Twin Sable Drive and there's a stop sign there and they speed, okay? Then you have the Dead Man's Curve over there on Big Cypress Drive where the par 3 is. People speed through that. I can't even speed through that because you can't even see the other side of the curve. Then the hotspot that we have Miami Lakeway South. Okay, so now I'm looking at, if you guys have an idea, let me just point here. This area is very hot for speeding. In fact, they run radar here on the weekends. Okay, so that area right there where there's a swale. And then you have
That little dot, I was gonna talk to you about,
tell me,
where you wanna put that little dot. So I'm gonna put you on map here. Where do you think, where you wanna put them? Really? Cause there's an issue between the town and Cypress Village condominium.
Okay, so you're talking about over here. Right here?
Yeah,
This guy right here? Yeah, what's the problem?
Cypress Village condominium is gonna have a problem if you put it.
Can you put it outside of the sidewalk?
That's a main street.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have put it there. Take it out.
Yeah. And I believe you should take
Take it out. All right, all right. Now, the one that's on the main street, but I do think it's pretty bad, is.
Unless you bring it down to these people, what is this, Tom?
That's Loch Ness.
You can put it there.
If it's outside of the sidewalk, it's town property.
Yeah, I know, but technically. There's an issue between the town and Cypress Village. They're going,
Okay.
that's why.
Okay, so we'll take that one out. All right, and then there's one there on, there's a wide street there that I think that is a grass area where people speed there. And then the other one is, Nancy's favorite street, Fairway Drive.
I think that they're rid of that, both of them.
Okay, so I
And
have,
there is a very small speed bump. Kind of new, very cool, and it's not stopping anybody.
okay.
And that is the speedway of that part of the neighborhood.
Well, that one, I put one there by your house.
I would put two,
All right, where you want, we put two, one on each
in
side?
the middle of,
One on each side.
either between
Right.
each stop sign.
Got it.
So the
One
one
on
that,
east
the
side,
one
one on the
that I
west
said
side,
not to,
Fairway.
I think you just move that one and put
That's fine.
two on
Perfect.
Fairway.
All right.
Two on Fairway.
Two on Fairway, yeah, because
Yeah.
Fairway is like a freaking.
You already know that.
Exactly,
How
both,
the heck did you get past that thing that was on the sidewalk of North Fairway when you make the left turn? I saw you coming down the roadway and they had something on the sidewalk. blocking.
I don't even remember, but
He's Speedy Gonzalez.
I figured out what.
All right, Miami Lakeway South, there's a few other areas there. Now, Loch Lomond, I'm not sure we can get in there, but I do recommend a few of them in Loch Lomond. One after the guard gate, and then you have one on the left side and one on the right side. Both of those areas that I have in Loch Lomond are parks. All right, anything else on the east side of Miami Lakes that you guys feel is a hot spot that we need to put aside? No? Captain?
No.
We're good. All right, we're off to the west side. This is where I need your guys' help. On the west side, as we all know, the bottom left is commercial. But we do have a dog park that I think it should be a dog park on the bottom left by where the body of water is. All right, and then we have one area where a lot of people walk. That is by Commerce Drive. Okay, one should go there. I'm a little confused as to the bottom left. There's a couple of developments down there that are townhomes. I'm not really sure there's issues in there. Detective Nieves, do you know there's any issues? You see where it says Commerce Way? There's two developments here in the bottom.
Yeah, in the morning, that's Speedway galore.
That one, I have one on the main street of Commerce Way, but in those developments, do we need to put anything in those small developments down here?
No, because you're not gonna be able to,
I don't think so. It's a gated community, they're rentals.
both of them are gated.
They're-
Okay, got it. So those two are Xed out. Okay, Commerce Way. So right now in Commerce Way, guys, we have 1 and 2. If Johnny, you're saying it's a hot area, maybe we put one more in Commerce. Done.
If I could just back up for a minute, for example, in that area where you're considering it, you can always reach out, and I can help you with this, with, HOA or, property managers. And then you can just maybe offer them a sign or two for them to place where they fit, and it's an opportunity for you to have contact with them, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to advertise future events, because those property managers and HOA presidents have group chats, and they just post things for us, and they'll blast everything from our Lock It or Lose It to
Love it.
any type of events you have.
Love it.
I would recommend not giving them a sign to put up where they think is best, because like me, they would stick it on a tree and get in trouble.
Or we just let them know that it can't be on the street.
Yeah, well,
Well, I would have a little more control than that, because we're gonna get blamed,
all right.
and
Now,
then
no.
you gotta pay to have it taken down and put up again.
okay, the next one is, okay, the next one I go into, before I go into Baldwin. Veterans Park, I think we should have 2 of them. One at the south side and one at the west side for Veterans Park. And then there's a road where people are always speeding. That's, if you see where Anna G. Menendez University is, there's a crosswalk. I think we should put it by Anna G. Menendez University. And I don't think that our friends at Station 64 would mind if we put one on their soil. Okay, so
No.
that's where it is right there. Now let's get a little more complicated. Let's go into Baldwin Road. I'm hearing a lot of complaints from Baldwin Road, people speeding. Okay, that's that road that runs Baldwin, you see it?
You mean Balgowan, the
Sure.
one with the G in it?
Yeah, but Baldwin,
Okay.
okay.
I'll go on.
Yeah, so that one, I'm saying two, because people are speeding there, and then the others are some parks that are in there. Now, here, I'm totally flying dark. When I go into Bob Graham Educational Center, I know that we can get, I recommend us having one by Drop Off Johnny, by 79th Ave, where Baez is usually stationed, more or less by that area. And then on the other side of BGEC, you have, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong street. So on 79th Ave, you see I put one on the left-hand side, and then on 77, which is Perimeter Road, I'm saying to put one by the exit, because you have some, activity there with kids walking, so I recommend the street. Now, the issue is, in this quadrant, I don't know about these streets. If
Okay.
there's,
The 186, they used to be 4 lanes, and now they put one in one lane and put like a bicycle lane in the middle. Regardless, they brought it down to 1 lane on each side, people still speed galore in that.
okay, are you talking about by the PLC?
By the Bob Graham, high school, I'm sorry, by the.
Or you're talking about Barbara Bowman?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so you're talking all the way on the left
All the way
side.
on the side, no, yeah.
Yes,
But then in 82nd, that you only have one, in the other side of 154. What I recommend is after 162nd, there's a light there, also put another one there, because that one is also people speeding galore in 82nd.
okay, hold on a second, let me follow you. I'm looking at 82nd. I have one on 82nd Avenue on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you had that one by the offices.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
No, yes, Crest, because isn't this Silvercrest?
Yeah, but you get into that spot right there between the offices and the
And the
entrance to
school, that's this one right here.
Yeah,
But this is 82nd.
correct.
So you're saying here there's one on 82nd, where else do you
And you
recommend?
see after 162nd, that's a light in that area there.
Yes.
After that light, you should put one in that area there, between 162nd and 170.
Okay, fine. On the left-hand side,
Carlos,
tell me.
you know that 170 is now open.
Right,
The 170 is open all the way to
Hialeah.
not to Hialeah, to
87?
the expressway,
right, to the turnpike.
to the turnpike, yeah. So I think in the future it's gonna be a lot of cars going through 170.
Yeah,
Or right now, the cars galore going there in the morning because the combinations of going over the bridge
and coming back.
plus the school.
But
And
now,
it's gonna get worse.
but now the question that I have to you all is, when it comes to, again, the top right of the west side, maybe Louis, you possibly know. In here, when I drive by here, all I see is homes. But is there any pocket parks in this area where we can put it?
Yeah, we have a tot lot by our house, so right by Rolex Park. It's right next to a canal. There's a tot lot, kind of like hidden in this little pocket area up here. There's a canal like.
Oh, I see what you're
alongside.
saying. Yes, you see a basketball court there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But what street is that?
Oh god, that's a big question.
Let's just call it by TR Music. TR Music, there you go. I don't know what TR Music is, but they're gonna become famous tonight. So over here, there's a park there, we need to put it there. Now, but we keep talking about the left side. I need help here on the right side. We have a lot of area here. We got nothing up here. I mean, I can drive around and find a spot.
Look, also in 154 and 87, where you have the spot for the cow. Instead of putting it in there, put it in 150, like 154 going. Going in.
Going east?
Yes, because. That spot there, there's the roundabout at the end, there's speed galore there too, and there's a lot of people
Oh,
walking.
so you're talking about where you get off, yes.
What?
That's where 153rd Terrace is.
Correct. There's a lot of kids on bicycles and walking in the afternoon in that area, and people
Right.
take that stretch,
You couldn't make it in the area.
so.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. Right now, I need you guys to take us home and this weekend drive around town. And see where else you guys wanna put them. I have the signs. But right now, we can divide and conquer.
Okay, so how are we gonna do this? You gonna give us the signs or you,
Well, the signs are right here with the sticks.
do we need to take a picture and be like, Isabella, can I put this here? And then she'll be like, no.
That's not for me to say.
No,
It's in
no, that's,
Departments.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead for now and, we're gonna put these, well, I guess, do we need to run these by the departments as well? Because I mean, and they have,
I would suggest so, because what if they're like, actually, you can't put it, I don't know. I don't want to speak on their behalf.
I know, that's why, it's very to ask for
Who's there?
information, but in this case,
It's not on the
Yeah,
sign, because
in
you
this
pick all these
case-
spots.
no,
in the case you will put it somewhere that we're not supposed to, they'll be like, hey, what happened to
I
the sign?
didn't see it.
listen, guys.
Is there any issue?
I will, listen, I'll take responsibility for it. These signs are going out. Okay? I'm not waiting any longer. So the signs are going out. I will send it to the departments. If they have an issue with it, I will personally go myself and pick them up and move them. Okay, whatever needs to happen. All right, so for right now,
Are there any issues, especially in that area, with county versus town?
87 and 67. So
I mean, it'll be faster if you want.
yeah, right here, there's an issue. And right over here is an issue. So Johnny, in fact, I might have an issue, right? 87 Avenue is where the counter.
I mean,
I know.
Yeah, we put it in the center in this.
Like we said, there's an
in the-
issue.
in the
Hey, what's the map they will see?
You know, this, in the meeting.
That's an issue.
This is-
Right over here.
Miami,
Oh,
Lake Winor.
So,
Miami, Lake Winor.
oh, it is. Okay,
It's in
okay.
front of the map.
Couldn't follow this game.
The two of the house, right, it is in the corner of 87 and 54, right, it's three right here, I thought, I put something here, put like one here and one. Yeah, either it was one of these, that's it, and that's it, who cares? All right, guys, let's take a vote on this, on the map layout. I sponsor this motion. We gotta keep going. All right, Nancy seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye, any against? None. Okay, guys, to move quickly along, the yardsticks, we're not included in the quote, they're $300. So, we have to, that's the additional cost for the yardstick,
What's the cost?
$300.
I'll
Motion,
pay half.
motion approved, motion is approving the layout. Okay,
Layout. is-
sign layouts.
Yes, okay, so I take a motion for the $300 for the yardsticks. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Do you think we can get any,
All in favor, say aye.
companies?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? None. Say it again?
Do you think we could get any companies to support it? They would want advertising.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
No.
All right, guys, let's keep moving because it's getting big. Law Enforcement Awareness Month. Okay, Isabella, if possible, let me know if I don't think there's gonna be any charity grant. I have to.
I don't know if you saw my message about that. It would be, I can give you an answer like more week of, it would just be one, if that's the case, though.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee for anymore.
Is anybody interested in going to the chamber lunch?
When is it?
I'm the only one who doesn't work.
Okay, it's May 13th. I will be speaking. Okay, about Public Safety Committee.
Location and time.
Honestly, I won't be the main spot speaker. Okay, I can't talk about public safety that long. But I'll be speaking for 3 minutes about public safety, our initiatives. Rene Garcia, our commissioner, will be speaking. He's the spotlight speaker. So if anybody wants to go, you just have to let me know beforehand, because there's tickets involved that we have to get in. Okay, that is
When is this?
this May 13th.
What time?
It is usually networking starts at 11:30 and it goes all the way to 2.
What's the latest we can let you know, like, be included,
Well,
date wise?
date wise can be a day up. The thing is that we have to take a motion as a committee. Who wants to go if we had
Yeah.
to pay the tickets through the committee, unless you guys want to pay your own way.
What is the cost per person?
It's $45. Yeah, it's $45 per person,
How
so
much money would the committee be able to put up?
we're kind of tight, believe it or not. We're kind of tight, I mean, listen, I will pay my own way because I do it as a business every month.
I'll pay for 2 tickets,
No,
mine and somebody else.
yeah, I'm just saying,
Who can go?
I could go. Yeah.
You're my date?
I'll be your date.
Okay, so Nancy and
and Darwin, do you think you can wear your
Darwin.
white?
For fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, not for 5. Okay.
how much is it? 45 per ticket?
yes,
Well, we're last year, the short sleeve.
Yeah, short sleeve. Okay, perfect. That way,
And I told you I'm already working with.
great.
with-
So you're gonna go in anyways. no?
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. And that way, so we'll go ahead and the whole idea is that when I speak, we'll go together. Because Amador is gonna be speaking about a few things too.
Got it.
Okay, so if you wanna say a few things too,
Okay.
we kind of say it collectively as a group.
Okay. I like it.
All right?
And we three will sit together at least.
No, yeah, we'll set up together. He's gonna go through his business, I'm going through mine, you know, obviously, by the way,
If you want.
this is an event, so you can wear a polo, public safety.
Polo.
Yes, and whoever else wants to go. Okay, so, the only, and the only reason why, guys, I'm saying about, usually like last year, we picked up the tab in public safety, but I feel that we have to be careful because of the swimming lessons, which we'll talk about now, we gotta move very quickly. You know, so that's that. Now, I did meet with, MDSO about, Coffee of a Cop. Coffee of a Cop will be at Mayor's Cafe. That's the decision that was held by MDSO. So we will be there, on May 15th. Why is it May 15th? Because that's Peace Officers Memorial Day, all right? That's why it's that day. It was something that, I discussed with Major Gonzo when he was our major before Eola. And, essentially, that's what we're doing here. So this flyer is in front of you all, if you all want to review it. If you have any commentary, celebrating Peace Officers Memorial Day and Law Enforcement Awareness Month. Residents are invited to Coffee of a Cop to connect with those who protect our community, share concerns, and ask questions. Mayor's Cafe, I already spoke to Jeffrey, our old Vice Mayor. He's aware of it. So is there any commentary related to this flyer? No, maybe? Great. Okay, we can start marketing it already? Wonderful. Okay, Zonta, if I know you guys are aware of Zonta. I'll be presenting at Zonta. Are you gonna be there? You should be there. Great. She's gonna be there. With Detective Nieves. Detective Nieves will be joining me, at Zonta, the dinner. I believe it's, April 28th,
Today?
May 28th.
I was gonna be like,
I was gonna say,
what are you doing?
I'm missing it. Oh my God. Okay, so yes, May 28th.
May 20, we're changing April to May.
Yes, we're changing that to May. And if you want to go and speak a few words about fire, you're more than welcome to join that day too, Darwin. I'm not sure. I don't know what the ticket price is for that one. Do you remember what the ticket is? I don't know, maybe. We'll find out. Okay, so that's May 28th. Okay, now, public safety video on golf carts, guys. I also met with MDSO about that. That's on me. I've been, a little busy with things. But yes, that's something I have to do. And I'll keep you all posted. We did discuss some ideas. The laws are very tricky when it comes to the golf carts. It almost seems like loose with it. So the video is actually gonna take a little bit of a twist, really into safety, right? We can talk about enforcement all we want, but the enforcement is, it seems to be kind of loose. So, not that anything against MDSO or, the guys that protect us here, but just seems to be tricky. So it's gonna be really geared towards safety. Now, the next item is Cars for Heroes. MDSO wants a flyer ASAP because they need to start securing assets. We also need to start going through Captain Vicencio. He needs to put this through Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. This flyer, was really like last second the way she did this. There's some things I'm not really too sure about. I mean, I guess here's my question, Isabella. Is there a way that possibly Johnny and I can work on something and send it to you guys based on this?
Sure, if you want to do that, we'll just have to make sure it meets the branding guidelines and we can go from there.
Okay,
What are those guidelines?
I can send you our branding guidelines if you would like.
yeah, Clarissa sent it to us already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
If you haven't already.
I mean, the whole thing is, and I think you and I are on the same page, Johnny. It's very similar to what you did. I think we just need to add the information.
Yeah.
And now the question that I have for you is, Isabella, if, let's just say Johnny and I are working together with communications and we give it to you and Clarissa says, hey, this meets our branding guidelines. At that point, can we push it to Darwin? Can we push it to MDSO already?
I need to be approved by council first.
No.
No, the event is not a new event, so you don't have to get re-approval, right?
right.
So as long as Clarissa gives the okay, then that should be good.
Okay, perfect. I mean, how about this? Let's take a motion to vote on this and let's just talk about the changes. We're gonna remove the cars, right, Johnny? We're gonna add food trucks. We're going to add DJ. Is there something here about
You guys wanna add the golf carts?
Yes.
Are we doing motorcycle this year?
Yeah, I was gonna. Remember
You guys
Cartel
brought it up.
Values, they, last year, they really, inquired as into
Mhm.
wanting to be a part of.
The more the merrier.
So you're saying remove the cars, no motorcycles, add the food trucks,
No.
the DJ and the golf carts.
Yeah, actually, no, the motorcycles and the golf carts is something with,
That's why I'm asking, because I know it was brought up last year, that we were gonna extend it to also have
But-
motorcycles,
right,
so I don't know.
but here's the thing, guys. I'm fine to continue the conversation, I just need a flyer.
No, yeah, for the flyer, we
need a
don't need to
flyer
go down. We just-
To get going, and I don't know, I just don't like the way the Eagle looks here, the pool car, and the C4 is my least favorite Corvette, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
we
mean,
can put it from now, like what we guys have,
yeah, we have one,
no,
71 plus.
Chevy.
Say that you need to discuss the changes here, cause since you're both on the same committee, cause of sunshine law, you can't go back and. forth.
Right, so I
It
don't-
has to go through me, whatever.
Correct, so
Yeah.
that's why we're discussing the changes, so then in that case, let's do this. First thing is,
Mention it again, go slow.
Yeah.
all right, here we go. First,
Wait, hold on.
first is first, okay, hold on a second, guys. Number one, we're gonna add food trucks. These are mine, and Johnny's gonna step in and put his. Number two,
Hold on.
Are we gonna add an actual food truck to the flyer, or we
let me
just
tell you,
gonna add?
Gemini did a really cool one,
Okay,
sick one.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's like.
Why don't you have him agree with
I gave
each
in,
thing
I've been
you
to Gemini.
mentioned?
Now
But
what?
each thing you mentioned, why don't you have him agree, then you got one vote.
No, that's what we're doing. So I'm running all the changes, and then we take a motion on all these comments.
Go ahead, add
Food
food
trucks,
trucks,
DJ,
DJ,
all right, I don't know what we called it last year, guys, prizes.
awards.
Awards. Awards, so like, you got three. Awards for best in show. Okay, number 4. Do we wanna write open to, guys, I don't know about the motorcycles, let me tell you.
No.
I, for now.
I know they always put out
Many
like,
sessions,
but I don't know.
too many.
No, it could be a different, it could bring a different kind of,
Yeah,
A different
Buying
type
power.
of crowd.
Yeah.
It's not a car.
yeah.
okay, for now, and then we can write, open to golf carts. Okay, again, our golf cart community is huge here on legs, nothing against the motorcycles, I think we can just iron it out later on.
No,
Darwin.
but it's a different type of crowd. too,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why.
it could be problematic.
Okay, open to golf carts, okay. So we want the Miami Vice theme, which I don't think we need to do that, because this is obviously Miami Vice.
Like
You,
that.
you mean colors or?
Yeah.
Miami Vice
Vice
colors?
is here. Okay, and then we need to add fire and police flags. Okay, because I think, Donnie, I think you have it, right? You just have to run the box.
Yeah, just I did
You gotta run the chat again, the prompts. Okay, guys, what else do you guys have changes for this thing, because, so we can rush through this? Isabella's getting me a little late.
Let me just verify
I'm gonna
with
be
you.
home already, so come on, people.
Let me just verify with you. Food trucks, DJ, awards, best in show, golf carts, fire and police flags.
Yes.
Okay.
Get on.
And what was the part about the Miami Vice colors?
It's already there.
It's already
so we
there,
don't
so
have
I'm
to
gonna
do
make a
it.
motion.
We're keeping it.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
it's already on
I
there.
didn't know if we were keeping it or not.
Yeah. I think for now, if he runs this on, are you using Gemini? Is that what you're using? You're not giving away your secret. That's okay. No, don't give away your secret. So you can run this. Are you cool with this? What else, Gemma?
No, yeah, and then that's it, that's all we need to put in there.
Perfect.
Then we send it to Isabella, Isabella will tell us yes or no, and then we'll go from there.
All right, because NDSO needs it like yesterday, and so does fire.
Okay, so you made the motion?
I'll second.
All right. All right, here we go.
Are we pretty much the same assets that we did last year?
Those were awesome. I mean, listen, if between MDSO or MDFI, whoever wants to fly a helicopter over, will be the coolest thing.
With a banner?
No. I think that's asking for too much. I made a motion, who seconded it?
Nancy.
Nancy. Any, all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Okay, wonderful. Next item. Isabel, are you good with that motion? Perfect. All right, guys. Swimming lessons. Kick it away, Johnny.
Okay, so I went to a PSN pool. And pretty much they told me that we can actually rent out the pool. So it's $200 for 2 hours. And then $150 for each additional hour. They do charge us $150 as a deposit for cleaning, just in case something happened that they need to clean the pool. If they don't need to do any cleaning, they'll return the $150. I spoke to the supervisor that was there in charge, and I asked him because it's a county event for the town, if that can be waived. He provided me the email for her boss, so I can go ahead and put that information there, and they can come back to me and tell me, yes, it can be waived, or no, you guys need to pay for it. That $200 cover lifeguards on duty, but it does not cover instructors. And she pretty much told me there's 2 hours that you guys have the pool for yourself. The amount of people that you can bring is based on the capacity of the pool. I think it's 60 people that you can do, and then go from there. But I explained to her what we were trying to do. She told me, yes, there's some companies that have actually done that, rent the pool to their kids or whoever is going to swim. So it's been done before, but she doesn't know if that can be waived or not. So I'm gonna submit all the information tomorrow to see what they come back to us. If they tell me that yes, it can be waived, perfect. If it cannot be waived, then we kind of have to pay it ourselves. And then we need to determine if we can actually handle that this year, and if not, we can plan for next year. Or we already know what the ballpark will be.
Where are we gonna get the instructors and how much are they?
The instructor, they have instructor there, so they can actually provide and tell us how much would it be. At the same time, they tell us that we can bring in instructors. I can reach out to a few people that I know that they know how to teach swimming. I know how to teach swimming, so I can jump in and do a class. I've done that before.
But would they have to be like officially certified?
No, they don't.
So there's no liability.
There's no liability for, but they are gonna have lifeguard on duty there. So regardless of the situation, they're gonna be there providing protection to the whole team.
Do we have to have insurance?
No, that's what she said, no insurance. But again, I'm gonna submit all that information, so her boss can actually confirm, yes, no, yes, and then once I have all that information, we provide it to Isabella or Carlos, and they push it through. If they tell us, yes, you guys can go with it, and that can be waived, perfect. If they tell us, no, you cannot do it, then we plan accordingly. But my whole point is, if they can actually waive it, I don't see why we should not do it. If they tell us, oh no, you guys need to pay, then it kind of have to be like on a voting system to see if we can actually afford it, and for this year at least. Or we gotta plan it for next year.
Right, so here's a concern, guys and gals. To Johnny's point, I'm gonna add a few things for commentary. Miami-Dade County has a drown prevention program. And one of the pools that sponsor this is PSN. So that tells me that they will host the class. The issue that I have, and this item 7G is closely tied to 8A, is how are we going to go to council for approval with a bunch of unknowns? I went through this with the Cars for Heroes, and it was not pleasant. I don't want to go through it again.
No, you have to have all your answers.
So I did submit the report to council. But I don't think we should report to council until we have more.
Correct, until we have all.
All right, there's too much at stake here. So I think that we should go according to the schedule we have, which is June. What can happen here? Possibly we can get to do this event. The issue is the event will be in July. Which at that point, could possibly be a little too late. For the swimming lesson, or really, is it late?
No, really,
Those
because-
from Florida.
Those
because
summer.
remember, it's summer, July,
Right,
August, September,
right.
and at the end of the day, the whole point that I'm always been bugging for this is not because it's a summer event, it's a knowledge event, because unfortunately, it only takes 2 minutes for a kid to drown in a pool.
And you can drown year round.
By the time that the parents go inside to grab a beer and come back, or go grab a bottle of water or come back, something can happen. So to get that opportunity, the people that do not afford to at least go and get the basic of floating and get them one class, look, this can actually save somebody's life. It can be in December,
Right.
in Florida, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Now, the whole thing is, guys, that the way that this committee is going right now, with so many things going on, we're gonna start taking a page from other committees, where we're gonna have people that are like chairs of events. Because there's just a lot going on. So Johnny's the point person for this event, because he has passion about it and has been wanting to do it for years, right? So the only thing that I'm doing for Johnny is in this, obviously support to him, whatever he needs. And then I know that there's somebody that I got introduced to today that is supposed to be the in charge, that will be pretty much the glue to whatever Johnny's doing. Like, for example, when we go in January and we're doing the open house at Station 64, the chair for that will be Dawn, you know, because he's essentially the one that is right now. And any other events that anybody else is passionate about, you guys can kind of do. I think that, like, for example, Cars for Heroes, that's the one that, you know, I'm gonna run, because it's huge, you know, and that's the one that, you know, I'm very familiar with. You know, but as we're going through, the whole idea is to kind of, all of us kind of come up together and do things, you know, give everybody an opportunity to kind of grow in their roles, you know, and listen, I can't, you know, as you can see, I can't do everything on my own. So with that said, I defer item 8A to the next meeting to discuss. Our next council meeting is 5/19. And the next PSC meeting is 5/26. We have a busy month ahead. I want to let you all know, for Law Enforcement Awareness Month, I did talk to Town Manager Peterman. As April is Autism Month. So guess what? Town Hall is lit up in blue. Law Enforcement Month is blue. So the light's gonna stay the same for next month. So we have several events. We have the chamber, we have Coffee with a Cop, and we have the Zone to Dinner presentation. And then, you know, if anything else comes up where we have a really good opportunity for Law Enforcement Awareness Month, like something came up last year at last minute, which was the Bahia, somebody all of a sudden wanted to do that. Worst case scenario, we'll have to have a special call meeting if something like that happens for Law Enforcement Awareness Month. But
But
Yeah.
I think if we verbally put out word, we all belong to other committees, and we can just see who we can contact now and try to say, hey, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
You think you might be interested, be sure to submit it.
for what, for which one, for the Bahia one?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that company comes back and says they want to do it, or another company, you know, but. All right, so
8A,
You're
you're,
gonna offer if they find out the event is coming up, so you gotta.
Yeah.
Talk to those.
8A, you're deferring to what date?
no, 8A, we just defer it. We don't have to do anything about it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
just,
stay-
just deferred.
Yeah, that's at this point. Okay, so, without,
Announcement?
yes,
I emailed you all, but just June 4th from 6:30 to 8:30 in council chambers, there's a special call meeting on proposed town committee budget. So I guess this is free for the next meeting. So basically all town committees will present their proposed budgets for the next fiscal year, 26-27, to town council, including dates for each proposed event, estimated attendance at each event from the prior year, cost of each event to the residents/public, and number of sponsorship dollars collected for each event from the prior year. So all this will be reported to town council at that meeting, and then they'll approve each event and each budget for the next fiscal.
so that means that by next meeting, guys, we need to have this information completed by June 4th, right?
Yeah.
Because we'll literally be meeting.
The week
A
before.
week prior. The rest about.
Right, and the deadline is like the end of May to make sure it's included in that agenda.
And that agenda, because that
Yeah.
ends up being, it's not, in other words, that meeting is like a special call meeting for the council. They have nothing else to discuss but that.
Exactly.
All right, and the way that at least for what I'm suggesting, so you all keep something in mind, I'm suggesting we, at the very minimum, get $4,800. Okay, and now $4,800 was what we used to have as a committee before we got slashed in half at 2,200. Okay, you know, which we were supposed to even be slashed even further by our mayor. He wanted to do a $1,200 budget, and then Councilman Hillsburg, and backed by others, was able to give us 2,200. So the reason why I'm telling you this is is so that you all be prepared for what is your argument gonna be? Why do we need that money? And I think what you all have to also realize is you have an argument to make. What is gonna be your argument? Right, and I think we have some pretty good ones. We have yard signs, we have PSAs, we have events. We have recognition to our law enforcement and our firefighters, our first responders. So- So be very cognizant about what is the fight you're gonna put together. I think we bring a lot to this town. And that's all I have to say. With all of that, I adjourn at 8:39. I don't think we need to take a vote on Burke. I don't know why.
Usually there is.
Yeah.
I second.
Okay,
But there we go.
all right.
All in
Carlos,
favor?
Nancy, all in favor, say aye.
There we go.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
It was Carlos and Nancy, right?
Yes.